Hello, everyone. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today we are going to be making these super cute tags. My favorite part of these tags, and that we're using a lot of fun products on it, are these bees. This is the first time I've gotten a chance to use them, the Bumblebee Trinkets. Oh my goodness, they are so cute. And I want to bring this up closer to the camera, but I don't want to blur it. I just want you to see, like, they're pretty weighty. They're dimensional. They're really, really cute. So we have a couple of showstoppers on these tags. So even though they're little, they pack quite a punch. The other thing that I wanted to show you, I hadn't had a chance to play with these yet, but I wanted to show it here. So if you can see, that is like a glimmer there, this glitter paper. So on page 135, it's number 4, the Ombre Specialty Paper. So we get 4 sheets in Gorgeous Grape, Mango Melody, Night of Navy, and Poppy Parade. And these are the 2 dies we're going to be using from that bundle. And then we're also going to be using tailored tags. So here are the 2 tags. These are the 2 largest tags. They have 2 different designs. So there's like this more straighter edge version, and then there's this fancier sort of edge here. So it's the 2 largest tags, but you get quite a few in the tailored tags dies. And these are super cute. So when I make tags, I like to make them really fancy. Just because they're small, or you could even do it. I know in the catalog, they actually like put the tag right on the card as part of the design. So you could do that too, but we're going to be using the 2 big guys here. And then here's my stamp set. So I'm going to be using the outline stamp again, and we're going to be using that coordinating die, but I'm going to use Stampin' Blends to shade it in, like to color it in. I'm not going to be using the fill stamps. It's totally up to you. If you like the fill stamps better, they have them to go with that flower and also with the flower bud. And with this one up here too, if you choose to use that. But I'm going to do Stampin' Blends because I kind of like to color it in more specifically, where this is a lot more artistic, like it's not a perfect fit. And I kind of like to make my color fit. Okay, so what I'm going to do, usually what I do with specialty paper like this, is I just take a look at like the size of the die and I try to keep it as close as possible so that I don't waste my my ombre specialty paper. I really don't like to waste specialty papers. I know that we pretty much all feel that way, right? So this looks like about good here, 2.5. You could probably do even like 2.25, and that would be fine. So just trim that. And so the way that I ended up cutting this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is I do the lighter version, and then I just do the next shade down. So kind of that mid shade was what I ended up doing with the tags that I already made. And I'm just going to do that same thing here. But before we cut these out, I'm just going to set this aside for a minute. For our outline, I am going to use our flower outline stamp. And what I ended up doing here, and I'll show you, it's pretty subtle, but I did a stamp off. So this is the original stamp. So this is the full color, and then I stamped off one. So this one's a little bit softer. It looks more gray. I'm going to do the same thing for these 2. Okay, so I'm just going to leave those tags right over there. And then do one. And then we'll do, well, I was going to go down, but I got some ink there, so I'll go this way. 2. All right. So for the original tags, just so that you guys know what colors I used that ombre paper and gorgeous grape. And then I used the Fresh Freesia Stampin' Blends combo for the flowers. This one is both colors, light and dark, just blended. And this one is just light on the flowers. And then this is soft succulent light. Same here, soft succulent light. And this is gorgeous grape ink. So for the other one that we're going to do, I'm going to focus on Poppy Parade. So let's do Poppy Parade, light and dark. So on the full color image, I did more blending. And on the lighter one, I just did the lighter color. So I'll stick with that same pattern here. So with the dark, I did the dark first. And what I'm going to do is basically, I'm just going to follow the outline of the flowers. Looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to go in with my lighter and then just fill it. Here we have our light and our dark, soft succulent. I'm going to do the dark first. I'm just going to follow the stem. I'm going to use this journaling bullet tip here. All right. And then for the second flower, we're going to do just the light of both colors. I'm just going to trim this to make it easier to go through the machine. And we're actually going to be cutting the tips of the flowers off to fit on the tag too. So this is a nice tight fit. This is actually one of the easier fits. You know, I just kind of focus on the leaves and that top bud just to make sure I'm all lined up here. Let's get our tags and let's start building out our seams here. So with the originals, I took the darker color, so the darker combo flowers, and put it on the darker tag. And you can see how it's a little bit tall, like if we leave the whole stem there. So we're going to trim off that bottom tip. I tried to kind of line up the bud with our little hole on the tag. And then we're going to do the lighter one here. Okay, so we'll trim off those pieces and then you can decide whatever you want your sentiment to be here. And I still want to use the bees. I still want to use the bumblebees. So on these, I use 2 bumblebees per project, one right in the middle of the flowers, and then one is like a little accent on our tag, the sentiment. So let's do the same thing here. We're going to do 2 bees per project. So 4 bees total. They're just the most detailed, cutest little trinkets. And let's see. So I had used the sentiments from Elegantly Said because they fit really nicely in the die for this. So I had used Wishing You a Wonderful Birthday and Happy Anniversary on these 2 tags originally. And what I'm wondering is if we should do different sentiments since we're, just doing something a little bit different for the live. So let me grab, okay, so we could do You're Absolutely Amazing, Here for You Now. Those will both fit. in these. Thank you will fit without for everything, which I had done on a prior project. Oh my gosh, look at what I just did. Oh. If you were here in person, I would tell you not to let me get this on my project. Oh, it's perfect. That looks great. It really stands out too. So there's the first one, and we'll add our bees. So with the adhesive, I did tear and tape because it's specialty paper, just to get that to stay. And then I popped up the sentiment on dimensionals. So we'll do the same thing, but let's do our other stamp while we're here. You never know. Okay, here for you now. They both look great. All right, so the other thing that I did was on these, I kind of colored in like a faux frame with my Stampin' Blends. And I'm questioning whether I should do that here or not. With the red, it would be probably a little bit difficult to do, but I could certainly try it. So let's see if I can do it before I put these together. I'm just going to try it. I'm going to stick with the lighter red since that's what's on the flower. And I'm going to follow the score line for the outside of that rectangle as my guide. Let me just take a look. So you guys can kind of see like the way that that's bleeding a little bit, but it's still a cute look. I mean, if I could get that right, just for the sake of experimenting, if you guys don't mind, I am going to try to do this with the ruler just to see if I can fix that line. So I'm going to do the bullet tip side for this. That does look better, doesn't it? Let's see how it does for a sec. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wipe off my ruler there real quick. I'm going to do the same thing on all sides, but so far that edge is looking good. Good. Got a little bit on the W, but otherwise pretty good. Let's see. And here we go again. Ooh, I love that. I think that looks great. All right, same thing. I'm a little bit on the H here, but let's see. Trying to follow that score line as close as I can. Let's take a look. Yeah, look. That looks really good. Okay, well, there you go. That's the way to go. If you want to make frames, just change the color around the edges quickly. That's a pretty cool little hack right there. Okay, here we go. I feel like he should be downward here, like going towards the here. I just think that looks adorable. Okay, so here we have this. Now, here's the thing that I didn't think through was the ribbon, like what color ribbon you would use. Now, we could use soft succulent because it ties into the color theme, right? So if you want to keep it like a nice soft color, you're not really going to tell. If you guys still have your Christmas ribbon in the Poppy Parade shades, you could use that. I don't want to use anything that is not current. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking the Pale Papaya, I lost my train of thought there for a second, and coloring it with the Stampin' Blend. Would that just be crazy, or should I try to do that? I'm going to use the dark Poppy Parade. I'm going to use the large tip side, and let me just see how this looks real quick. And then the way that I thread my ribbon through these is just taking the two tips, pushing it through the front of the hole, and then taking the loop, grabbing the two tails, and then pulling up. So just adjust it like as you go, but that is how. And then we would do the same thing with this tag, or I could just do the soft succulent so that you guys can see the difference. But yeah, so here we go. Here's what the two patriotic ones look like. I am loving the way that that frame turned out, because I just love frames on pretty much all the things. So I'm loving that, just so that you can kind of see that ombre glimmer. Just show that one more time. I have to get a better quality webcam. I need to get the same type of camera that's actually in my phone. It's so much more clear. And then let me just show you the original tags one more time, and I'll just put them all on the paper together. Okay, so soft succulent, fresh freesia. The ombre paper, it's Gorgeous Grape, and then Gorgeous Grape ink, and then of course our super cute Bumblebee Trinkets. So many different things that you can do with your tailored tags. All of the other bundles will pretty much coordinate with them. I mean, you could see that Color and Contour was great with it in terms of sizing. Elegantly Said was good with it. And I will see you guys again on Thursday. All right, enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend.